Hi guys, so I wanted to do a quick video tutorial for this short week's assignment. It's called the sandwich activity. Um, just make sure you get more practice with selection tools, masking, and all that good stuff. So make sure you download the zip file attached to this week's assignment. And then when you open up the folder, it should look something like this. And I want you to start off with the plate PSD file, like so. And you will start importing images. Now you can import images however you'd like. If you want to do file, import, and so on and so forth, you can. I personally like the drag and drop method, so that's what I will be using. I'm going to start off with the slice of bread, so drag and drop that in there. Resize that like so. Okay. Now, for this assignment, I really don't care which selection tools you use. You have so many to choose from. Whatever is your preferred, that's what you'll use. If you're having some issues with the selection tools, feel free to hide the layer beneath it to kind of help you out. I'll start off with, let's say, the magic wand because it's good with just solid colors in the back. So I'm going to click once to select the white. And I don't want the white selected, right? I want the bread to be cut out. So I'm going to go to select up at the top and then inverse. And now I know it's the bread that's selected. I can go to select and mask and tidy this up a little bit, maybe smoothen it. That looks better. Shift edge. Kind of clean that up. Output 2, new layer with layer mask. I can just do layer mask. Okay. So there we go. It's looking pretty good. If you guys don't see these this little blue box to make changes to it, up at the top where it says show transform controls, you can toggle that on or off. So we have the first bread set up. And I can come to my layer styles down here and maybe add a little drop shadow, make it look a little bit more realistic. Kind of want this more on the plate. Why not? Okay. Now with that done, move on to the next piece. Let's say the lettuce. Can hold shift to resize this proportionately. Looks good. Can hit enter and it'll do the same thing. If you hear ruckus outside, I'm sorry, there's yard work being done. Maybe you don't want to use the magic wand tool for this one. Let's say you do the object selection. It's looking pretty good. Select and mask. Maybe I want to delete some of this stuff here. Okay, output 2, layer mask. Okay. Go to your selection tool, resize this. And again, the cool thing about layer masks is that you can always select them. Grab your brush tool. Remember, layer masks work in black and in white. And if I still wanted to go back in there and clean up some stuff, I can, right? And this is what we call non-destructive editing because I can always bring back the original. That's okay for me. I kind of hate that there's this gray, but I'd recommend that you guys remove some of this gray happening here. But for the sake of my tutorial not lasting more than 15 minutes, I'm going to move on to the next one. Let's say bacon would be next. Resize this. And I do apologize. Some of these images have terrible quality. So yeah, change this to plus to add to selection. Okay, select and mask. Definitely want to cut this inwards. Smooth it a bit. Might have cut too much, but for now it's fine. Right, that's looking good. Move on to the next. Tomato. Maybe resize it. Okay, you use whatever tool you want to use. I only recommend that you have layer masks in case you mess up and you want to bring something back. I never get tomatoes on my things, so I don't even know how big or small they are, but I can duplicate this by holding Alt Option and then left clicking and dragging. I can also duplicate by right clicking on the layer and then selecting duplicate layer, like so. And so my layers don't get too crowded. I can select the first layer in my layers panel, hold shift and select my last one. And if I look down in the layers panel, there's a little folder right here. If you click on it, it creates a group with whatever you had selected. So we'll call this, and they're all in one. Okay, once you're done, again, I don't want you to re-import or drag and drop a slice of bread when you can just right click and then duplicate layer, or the keyboard shortcut is Command J. And drag that bad boy up to the top. Rotate it a little. Actually, let's flip this. So edit, transform, flip horizontally. There we go, something like that. Okay, so I'm seeing this white outline that appeared, and we can clean that up again by selecting the layer mask, grabbing the brush tool, and then since I want to remove this, it's going to be black in the foreground. If I accidentally erase some of the top red, remember I can easily bring it back by switching the foreground to white. Okay, so that's looking good. Ooh, one thing I forgot to add to this one. Let's say on top of the tomatoes, you put mustard. I hate mustard, but just a good example. I'm going to hit the add new layer, double click this and call this mustard. You can do ketchup, mayo. Okay, so new layer with mustard, rename to mustard. I'm going to change my color to something yellow, yellowy mustardy color. There we go. Okay, want to up this, and I want to make sure it's a round brush like so. And okay, so if you're going to put a bunch of condiments, make sure you put a new layer for every single different condiment, or else it's going to move all together. So have mustard on there. I want you to add a layer styles here. Let's go to blending options to bring all of them up. So let's say a little drop shadow and a little bevel and emboss. Now that's looking a little bit more like mustard. And remember, you can come in here and change all of these settings if you wanted to. I don't know, let's see what a inner glow would look like. Kind of like it better without it. So There we go. And you can do the same thing to kind of toast the bread if you wanted to. There's also the burn tool that you can use, but yeah, that's basically it, guys. Once you're done adding things that you want to add, you're going to go to File, Save As. Make sure you rename this where it has your name somewhere. So, show you here. Be last name, first name, initial. And leave it as a PSD because I have to make sure that all your layers were done correctly. And this is what you will submit for this week. If you need help, please call me over and let me know.